onto Aspheric TV, and this is the morning newspaper briefing. My name is Daburo Gifts, and I have two guests with me today in the studio joining me on the program. They are Esther Osho Sanya and Mohammed Jinadu. Welcome on the program. Basically, this is a program where we discuss newspaper headlines, headlines that Nigerian dailies spoke about, and then we pick out some of these headlines and then we discuss it with you. I'd start off with the Nation newspaper. It says here, Presidency, why Tinubu is best for the job by Almakura. Ex-governor says Atiku, Obi, Kwankwaso, no match for APC candidates' competence. NDLEA seizes 8.8 billion naira tramadol pills in raid of Lagos mansion. Alaafin Stool, 9 ruling houses to present 1 candidate. Unilag to get new vice chancellor Friday. I'm not a social media freak, says Kwankwaso. Women rally for Tinubu/Shetima Sanwo-Olu in Lagos. The Punch newspaper, it says here, PDP crisis, BOT convenes emergency meeting to rescue Atiku's campaign. Party board meets this week as pressure mounts on PDP chairman to throw in the towel. We can't go into polls divided. We'll make needed sacrifices to move forward, BOT members. Wabara-led reconciliation panel meets Atiku ahead of Tuesday PH meeting with Wike. Debt servicing on Nigeria's Eurobonds rises by 86%. Over 400 fleeing Kuje inmates still at large. Scientists who extracted DNA from 40,000-year-old bones wins Nobel Prize. The This Day newspaper says Rivers APC to APC governors visiting Wike an embarrassment to our party. Threatens to take matters into its own hands if national leadership fails to do something. 2023 Aliyu Shekarau Haruna, others rally support for Atiku. Slam Tinubu over fitness video. PDP crisis PDP crisis will be over soon, says ex-BOT chairman. Edo stakeholders call for Dam Obi's sacking. The Vanguard newspaper says anger wells up in APC over party leaders wooing Wike. PDP campaigns, anxiety over composition of subcommittees, release of timetable. List of national honors nominees fake, FG. NDLEA nabs suspected drug baron at VGC. 2023, we beg God to give us best among Atiku, Tinubu, Obi, Sarkin, Hausa. The Daily Sun newspaper says 2023, Kwankwaso not spoiler, NNPP. PDP G5 gives Atiku conditions for support. Party's presidential candidate under pressure to succumb. Crisis will soon be over, Jibrin, ex-BOT chair. Nigeria needs leaders with capacity, Baja Biamila. The Guardian newspaper says PDP may cede Senate presidency to Southwest, SGF to Southeast. The Leadership newspaper, it says here 2023, serving ex-governor scheme for 10th Senate presidency. PDP crisis, BOT members meet with Wike today. Mbaka sent to monastery, followers protest. The Nigerian Tribune, it says here, NDLEA seizes 13 million pills of tramadol from VGC mansion. Also on the Nigerian Tribune, how flood crippled the north. Thousands rendered homeless, lives, properties lost. Lynched herders were terrorists from Sudan. Bepu replies Kaduna government. 3-story building collapses in Ibadan. Also, Buhari to present 2023 budget to National Assembly. Worshippers kick as Father Mbaka goes to monastery. Nigerians can no longer be deceived by APC, Babangida Aliyu. Those are the headlines we have. We'll go on a short break. When we return, I and my guests will discuss some of these headlines with you. Please stay with us. Welcome back. I'd say some rather interesting headlines on the newspapers. And then I'd like us to start off with the PDP crisis that has been going on for months and months on end. It seems like it's coming to a close and then it starts up again. So the board of trustees of the PDP have decided to convene for an emergency meeting today, still concerning the issue between the presidential candidates of the PDP and the Rivers State's governor, Wike, because this apparently is, should I say, posing as a problem, as a challenge to the campaigns that have just started. So what are your thoughts, Mr. Mohammed?
Basically, I think all of this stemmed off from the process that took all of these candidates to the primaries, which actually now gave Atiku the ticket to represent PDP in the forthcoming election. But I think particularly that the PDP presidential candidate is the one behind this crisis lingering. All he needed to do is man up, call Wike, speak to him without any third person interfering. He has allowed this thing fester, linger. Now egos are bruised, and it will be difficult at this stage for Wike to cave in, because he would have made some utterances, some promise, some pronouncement, and this is all about his masculinity, his ego, and his weight in the political space. No doubt Wike held PDP when most of them ran away. That's one part of the camp saying. While they're saying Atiku is the brand for national politics, that's another camp speaking. But where is Ayu in this whole ploy? Remember the video of Ayu going to Tambol and saying you're the MVP? From us who are outside, we feel that was actually a blow below the belt. He shouldn't have let that kind of video go viral. He ought to have been a father of a party, call all of these people together, speak with them behind closed doors. They showed Wike they actually had a scheme against him, and he feels it is me, my group, against the establishment within the PDP. So Atiku should do what is right, which is call PDP, call Wike and his group apologize, because one, their egos are bruised, and going by the nomination and selection of Okowa, I think a whole lot of egos are bruised, and you can't say people who had been with the PDP all this while really don't matter. They really matter. Wike held River State for so long, and Wike gave PDP a name, and there was no other place that PDP had to showcase as part of opposition stronghold than River State. So I think Atiku should do the needful, appeal to Wike, call him one-on-one, and I feel Wike will be reasonable, and all of this will be, but not, they need not converge. They just, Atiku needs to come down the horse and speak to Wike. Yes, be the bigger man. It's not about be the bigger man. Speak to Wike, and I'm certain Wike will let this rest.
And the issue will be over once and for all. Moving on, Ohaneze insists on Igbo president, and this is coming from a place of when we are hearing talks here and there about zoning, saying that the North has held power for too long. Ms. Esther, what are your thoughts on this statement?
Well, on this issue, I guess the government should settle this issue, and they should go on regions like, okay, the Igbos should have the time, while the Yoruba, which is the western part, should have their own section, and also the eastern part should have their own, or the northern part should have their own section.
Basically, everybody should get a turn.
To get a turn, it should go like, okay, yes, you've done yours, let me do mine. I guess with that, all these issues we're having will just be sorted out. There won't be regional issue problem, like individuals having issues against themselves. Like you say, oh, Yoruba is my brother, you are my brother, you know my brother, we're not the same.
Tribalism.
Yes, that's what I'm about to say.
Basically, I think it's high time. For me, this is another take for me, is the fact that all these socio-political groups and some of our religious clerics, I think socio-political groups are supposed to house all of the tribes within the region. and give them a sense of belonging, which means irrespective of your village, once you're under that, you should be catered to, you should be spoken for. But here is this, again, politics is grassroots, and you need the other side to do in national politics. Once you're politicking and it's regional, you can't expect help from the other side. It's all about friendship. It's all about reaching out. The question is, can really the Southeast speak honestly that they have really accommodated people from the other side as others have accommodated them? Because all of these things, irrespective of what you scream about, you need numbers from the other region. You need numbers from the other region. So I think the politics should go beyond self. It should be about national issue and national unity and peace.
All right, moving away from politics a bit, a story that was rather interesting in many of the newspapers said, boy shoots 12-year-old brother to death while testing bulletproof charm. They call it Odeshi, basically. We've heard stories about that a lot, and today is in the papers. I want to know your thoughts on this.
Because when I saw the story, I was like, how come? Like, what's got him to that extent? Like, what?
Well, they need to know if the charm works.
Like, he shot a 12-year-old teenage. So the boy that did this, how old is he?
Some newspapers, they tagged it man. So I think he must be of a reasonable age.
What is his intention?
Well, basically to test if the charm works. And some stories further said the charm was meant for their father, and the father was present there when this happened. What are your thoughts?
I think there's something wrong.
Missing.
There's something wrong with our reasoning culture. How, first off, I think it's high time we start licensing or censoring the people that, yes, nobody will stop traditional religion. It has been there. Now, but the thing is, the father present, someone picking why didn't the father test on himself?
Yeah.
Why would you allow?
Now you're like
understand. What kind of joke is that? I think the father should be really
dealt with.
And the man that produced that charm. Because why would you look at the 12-year-old?
Well, these things, I think they happen all the time. They just don't get to the newspapers and then to the media a lot. But these things happen.
These few ones that actually had come to fore should really be seen.
Yes, they should
be taken seriously.
Lawfully. And probably help to deter. Some mother would be testers of
it's a serious issue, because the 12-year-old boy's dreams, visions, focus has been
cut short.
Yes.
Modern age. Remember the other story of the boy who they say had 5 years left and bought a 65 million. The level of this greed and the want for money and affluence, that it's no longer 18, 20 years old. It's now people less than 18 years old. It's scary for me.
This thing should be checked in. Like, it's really getting out of hand.
It's scary for me.
Because our children will be scared to go to school if people like this still exist.
Sure.
In the 21st century, when we are supposed to be enlightened,
before you know the bullying, like, you'll be scared of such a child.
It's true.
No.
And moving on, another controversial issue in the news is Father Mbaka. This has made rounds on various social media platforms. We know Father Mbaka, the popular Catholic priest, who, should I say, is known for some of his revelations. He has made a lot of revelations every now and then. And then the Catholic Church has sent him to the monastery now. And it's making rounds on social media, like I said, that this is as a result of him prophesying against Peter Obi not winning next year's elections. I want to know your thoughts on this.
This is one prophecy gone to the extreme for the Southeast. But here is this. I think Father Mbaka and Peter Obi have a history. There was a time, and it was about one making pledge, and one not fulfilling this pledge, and more like there's a probably a prophecy that, or a curse that yes, this would happen. And actually during that election, it happened. This is the man that people adore in that same southeast. People take his word
precisely
seriously. He was one man when other Christian clerics could not stand and prophesy. He said Buhari will win and win again. This was a man who said Okrocha will be disgraced. This was a man who said Ihiodia will be removed.
So in short, all his prophecies are coming to pass.
This Obi own will not be
an exception.
Obedient.
Yes, Peter Obi has amassed this large following, and then
Father Mbaka has a following. You can't just taint. Now they are taking to the monastery where they are asking a man who loves to speak like the ordinary president
who is vocal,
to not speak. It is actually going to be
in solitude.
I want to see how the church will survive, because the church cannot be without the people. Now the people are the ones that love Father Mbaka. So how will the church go against the people for the person they love, versus the polity within the southeast?
Well, I think no matter what happens, when the church makes its decision, it stands by it, especially if it's for the good of the same people who are the church now in this case. Because basically, left to me, clerics or religious leaders should not interfere so much in political matters. And this might be an extreme punishment, so to speak, for Father Mbaka. But I think it's necessary that some of these checks are put in place.
I'll be really afraid.
Yes, that because of
it might not be just because of the Peter Obi's prophecy. It might not be because of that, because it's just like we have said. You've given us a few examples. This is something he has done a lot over time. So probably just keep him in check.
Are we going to say the Labour Party are on their toes? Like
they might be.
Since all his prophecies are coming to pass,
yes.
So this one, we don't know if he's an exemption.
Will be to call him back and pay, fulfill whatever.
No, Father Mbaka is saying what he heard.
Exactly. It's not about money.
It's not about him going to bed or sleeping or trying to the revelation is coming back again.
Exactly. It's not something that can change.
It's what he heard. He has said it.
The comedy of this matter is
it's too much.
Let's see how events unfold. Exactly.
He must have done that adoration within the monastery.
No, he cannot. The monastery is a place of solitude. You are not supposed to be rowdy here and there, so it's not possible. He can't.
That's true.
So unity is there.
Yes, exactly.
So it's a religious prison for him.
It is. So we can call it that. Yes. Thank you so much. Interesting conversation we've had. I've had Mr. Mohammed Jinadu and Miss Esther Oshosanya. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Aspheric TV on YouTube. Also follow us on all of our social media platforms. On Instagram and Twitter, we are Aspheric News. On Facebook, we are official Aspheric News. You can also visit our website, I beg your pardon, at www.asfericnews.com. Thanks for watching. My name is Double Gifts.